Welcome to day 10 of our exploration of the 12 universal laws. Today, we're diving into the law of polarity, a principle that helps us understand the dual nature of existence and how to navigate the apparent opposites we encounter in life. The law of polarity states that everything in the universe has two poles, opposite ends of the same spectrum: hot and cold, light and dark, love and fear, success and failure. These aren't separate phenomena, but different expressions of the same energy at varying degrees. This law reveals that opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. For example, hot and cold are both temperatures, different degrees of the same thing. Love and hate are both intense emotions, different degrees of the same passionate energy. This understanding shifts us from seeing the world in disconnected fragments to recognizing the underlying unity of apparent opposites. What makes this law particularly powerful is realizing that if something exists, its opposite must also exist. This means that within every problem lies its solution, within every challenge lies an opportunity, within every experience of lack exists the possibility of abundance. By understanding this principle, we gain the ability to transmute negative experiences by consciously moving along the spectrum toward their positive counterparts. The law of polarity works hand in hand with the law of relativity we discussed yesterday. While relativity helps us understand that everything is perceived in relation to something else, polarity shows us that those relationships exist on continuous spectrums rather than as disconnected experiences. How can we apply this law in practical ways? First, recognize that difficulties contain hidden gifts. When facing challenges, ask, what is the opposite pole of this experience, and how can I begin moving toward it? Within every problem lies its solution, often in the exact spot we least want to look. Second, use the power of contrast to clarify your desires. Our experiences of what we don't want serve as powerful pointers toward what we do want. Rather than resisting negative experiences, use them as clarifying tools to define your preferred reality more precisely. Third, practice mental alchemy by consciously shifting along the spectrum of thought. When caught in worry, ask yourself, what would trust feel like in this situation? When experiencing criticism toward yourself or others, ask, what would compassion feel like instead? By recognizing that these opposites exist on the same spectrum, you can intentionally move your consciousness toward the preferred pole. Fourth, embrace the wholeness of life by accepting both poles as necessary parts of experience. Without darkness, we couldn't recognize light. Without challenges, we couldn't experience growth. This acceptance doesn't mean passively enduring negative circumstances, but rather understanding the role in a complete life experience, while actively choosing which pole to emphasize. The law of polarity invites us to see beyond the illusion of separation into the underlying unity of all experience. It reminds us that within every situation exists the seed of its opposite, waiting to be recognized and nurtured into expression. As you move through the next 24 hours, I invite you to notice polarities in your experience and experiment with consciously moving along these spectrums. When you encounter something unwanted, ask, what is the opposite pole of this experience? And how can I begin to shift toward it? This practice alone can transform your relationship with challenges. Let's recap what we've learned today about the law of polarity. Everything in the universe has two poles, opposite ends of the same spectrum. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree, part of the same continuum. If something exists, its opposite must also exist. Within every problem lies its solution. Understanding polarity gives us the ability to transmute negative experiences by moving along the spectrum toward their positive counterparts. Practical applications include recognizing that difficulties contain hidden gifts, using contrast to clarify desires, practicing mental alchemy by consciously shifting along the spectrum of thought, and embracing the wholeness of life, accepting both poles as necessary. For your practice today, identify one challenging situation or emotion you're experiencing. What is its polar opposite? For example, if you're feeling confusion, its opposite might be clarity. If you're experiencing conflict, its opposite might be harmony. Once you've identified the opposite pole, ask yourself, what would it feel like to be at that end of the spectrum? What qualities would be present? What thoughts would I be thinking? Then deliberately move your awareness in that direction, even if just a small step. Tomorrow, we'll explore the law of rhythm and discover how natural cycles govern our experience. Until then, remember, within every challenge lies an equal opportunity. Within every problem lies its solution to keep winning.